Preeclampsia is a condition that affects about 6 in 100 mothers during their pregnancy. It causes problems with the placenta, the organ that nourishes your baby. If left untreated, it can lead to one or both of the mother and baby dying.
Usually you wouldn't notice it until you had your routine checks with your midwife, and that's why you have routine antenatal checks, and that's why antenatal care is designed to pick up early signs of preeclampsia. So most ladies don't notice any symptoms, most women feel well, so it's likely you'd feel well but the midwife would find that your blood pressure was raised. As a mother, the symptoms that you really need to look out for are new swelling in your hands and particularly in your face, which often your family members might notice before you do. It's very common for women to get swelling in their ankles and legs during pregnancy, but if you did get sudden swelling, which was much more severe one day than it had been previously, then that would be something to inform your midwife or your doctor about.
Other symptoms of preeclampsia include pain in your tummy area or under your ribs, headaches, problems with your vision, or generally feeling unwell. Sonia is pregnant with her second child. In her first pregnancy, she experienced preeclampsia.
I was quite swollen, like my hands, my feet, and I was just like really tired all the time, and I was working. It just out of nowhere, it happened so quickly. They just admitted me to hospital because my blood pressure was really high, and by then my face was swollen as well. My hands were swollen, my feet, and I was just seeing like a visual disturbance as well. And they explained to me it could be preeclampsia, and they told me, you know, what it was, and then I looked up on it, and then I was like, yeah, I am getting like the swelling, and you know, my blood pressure is I do feel like it is quite high, and you know, explain like the baby's quite small, so we might have to deliver early. I think that's when it hit me, okay, this is really serious. It's very, very important that we pick up the condition early, that we manage the condition, and that we safely deliver the baby and keep both the mum and the baby as safe as much as possible. Sometimes we do have to deliver the baby very prematurely, and that might be either because we're worried the baby's not growing properly and the baby's at risk of stillbirth, or we're worried that the mother's getting much worse, and so our only option in that circumstance would be to deliver the baby early. I couldn't like digest what was happening because they were really good, everyone in the hospital, the staff members, and they just like acted quite quickly. And then I was in hospital for about, I think, 10 days, and then I had a C-section. But by then my symptoms had calmed down, my blood pressure was in control. So by the time I had it, I was, you know, feeling a lot better. You're most at risk in your first pregnancy if you have a family member who's had preeclampsia, if you're obese, or if you have medical problems such as high blood pressure or diabetes at the start of pregnancy. You're also slightly high at risk if you've got a twin pregnancy, and in ladies who've had preeclampsia during their first pregnancy, they're at risk of getting it again in their subsequent pregnancies. You know, it can happen just like that, like it did with me, so it really is important. If I hadn't gone to my appointments, they wouldn't have picked up on the high blood pressure, they wouldn't, you know, done the scan and seen that the baby isn't growing. And if you do feel like a bit different, you know, you should go get it checked out, you shouldn't leave it. And that's, you know, that's what I did. Like, I remember when my feet were like really big, and I was like, should I phone them or should I? And I was like, there's no harm in phoning them, you know, that's why they're there. And it's a good thing because I ended up in hospital.